Hey tubers and pickers, it's Drew, the California Picker. Welcome back to my channel, California Pickin', and I'm proud to announce the winner of the California Pickin' quiz number 2. And it doesn't surprise me that this picker got this right. He's one of my favorite video making pickers, and he knows his stuff. I've learned a lot from him, and he's just so fun and entertaining to watch. We all know him, we all love him. Who is it? It's Dewayne, Butler of Castles and Attics, correctly identified my object, and here it is, complete as an Art Deco fishbowl. And here we see the glass insert that I do not have. I have the armature. Here it is. Mine's in chrome, and this one is in apparently could be cold painted steel or could be powder coated, I'm not sure which. But we have this very interesting hexagonal like fishbowl with this sort of sangria color, and this bowl would be very, very hard to make today to these specifications. These angles and such would be very, very difficult to do that today. Now let's take a look at the side view, and here we see the fishbowl from the side, and here are those little clips that we didn't know what they were for, but apparently these hold the fishbowl into place in between the armature. It sits on this metal plate down here that connects the two sculptures below. Mine right here was rusty, all rusty, kind of. Still in good shape on the bottom, but rusty, and that was of course from condensation. Water that got under here that corroded the metal. And one interesting feature about this bowl, which I also noticed from this picture, this came off the internet, guys, that these sidewalls seem to get thicker in the middle, and then they diminish toward the corners, and then they get thicker in the middle there again. Very interesting, very difficult to manufacture and to blow this type of glass bowl. Very interesting. So, and I did a little bit more research on what this sculpture might be, and it falls into a category called Frank art. And Frank art was founded by a sculptor named Arthur Frankenberg in 1922, and he worked with a very, very good foundry to reproduce these sculptures, and they were almost always young female ladies, naked, sometimes stylized here. So these are also on the internet that you can find. I don't think any one of these images are copyrighted, but of course we're just sharing information here, so there's probably not a problem. But yeah, so when you see this type of work, now you guys know what this is. It's called Frank art. And it's really very cool. Quintessential Art Deco. Just great details. Always good casting here. You know. So, an interesting story was that the guy who was doing these doing the castings for Arthur Frankenberg started making them on his own, and basically I believe there was a lawsuit later on, and the caster eventually, I believe, won the right to use the name Frank art. He bought it from the sculptor. Not sure what happened to Arthur Frankenberg, but you can just see how great he was. Now look at this. This is a piece of glass, and this is called Millefiore, and this is little glass tubes. This is made in Italy, and these were little glass tubes that were put into a grouping like this, and then they were cut with a knife when it was super hot, and then molded into this round ball. That's called mellifere. You see this in glass paperweights a lot, and I believe it means 1,000 flowers. It appears to be like 1,000,000 flowers, but 1,000 flowers, I think that's what that means. But look at these lines of this sculpture. How cool is that? A lot of lighting. A lot of great forms. So anyway, that's Frank art for your knowledge, and it's very collectible. This stuff is super hot. So getting back to my fishbowl, I thought about, since I didn't have the bowl, I thought about making sconces out of these, light sconces. But of course I didn't want to compromise the integrity of this original object that is worth something. And from what I've gathered, this sculpture here alone is about anywhere from $250 to $350 possibly, maybe a little bit more on its own. And the glass bowl, as we know, somebody was trying to sell it to me for $500 and wouldn't. So this object is somewhere in the neighborhood of $750 to $1,000, and I wouldn't be surprised if a good example of this went even higher than that at auction. So another idea I had was possibly, I'm not sure if I can do this, it's very expensive to do this and takes also somebody who's very skilled at this. I could make a casting of this and make a rubber mold and possibly reproduce these things. I think they, a lot of people reproduce stuff from the 20s. I don't think that there's any overriding copyrights attached to this type of form. Being that old, it's probably in the public record now. So I know a lot of people are doing this. So I don't really think it's unscrupulous to do this. I would have to do a little bit more research in that. But I see people making these car mascots, these car ornaments in the front, like the ones on Rolls-Royce. That's called, I believe, the Spirit of Ecstasy. And people are making reproductions of that all day long. And I don't think Rolls-Royce goes after those people. I'm not sure if it's all coming from Rolls-Royce, but when something's this old and the company's maybe possibly way out of business, I don't know if I should be really concerned with that. But as I said, it would be very expensive to do it, and it would take somebody with great skill to do this, because there's several layers here, you guys. There's layers in this casting. So you have dimension, you have angles, and you have this base. So I think it could be done, and it would be great, because then I would make these into light sconces possibly and preserve the original and try to see if I can reunite it with this original glass someday and sell it as a whole. But I could make light sconces out of this, and I could make, I could put in some frosted glass here in an arch form, or possibly stepped, very Art Deco. I haven't decided, but those are all possibilities. Very cool sculpture. So anyways, here's to Dewayne, Castles and Attics, Mr. K. Saeed. And thanks for the subscription and the correct guess, buddy. I really appreciate it. I'll be always watching your videos. So really look forward to more of them, and want to see some more of your picks and finds with some of that great music you play in the beginning. And man, your beard's getting long. My word. Alright guys, so anyways, If you liked this video and you liked what I brought you, please hit like. And we'll do more of these Pickin' quiz videos, and I'll have to come up with California Pickin' quiz number 3. So I hope I didn't make it too long, and you guys have a great day. Please subscribe, hit the likes, tell your friends, go to California Pickin' at eblog and start chatting with me. Okay? Cheers, people, and remember, keep on picking. Cheers.